Proverbs 27:17. Iron sharpens iron. As a man sharpens the countenance of his friend. Will you help me bring it there? Iron sharpens iron. So a man sharpens the countenance of his friend. You must have 3 kinds of friends. That's the reason why some of us here, we are not your friends, but we are friendly with you. So lend a helping hand. There is no kind of thing you can tell us that we have not met with for a long time. You have 3 kinds of friends. You have friends above you. You have friends at par. You have friends below you. It's because of friends below you that you don't want to mess up. Because you are an inspiration to them. It's because of friends at par with you that you want to succeed. Because you are put to shame by their success. It's for friends above you that you are inspired. Because they just inspire you. Anytime you just come around them, they just speak something beyond you. And you aspire. You must have them who speak to you and pass instruction down. You must have them that you talk together. You get to conclusion and consensus. You must have them that you pass instruction to. But in any of these cadres, none of them must be a weakling. Each one of them is capable of bringing your life down if they are a weakling. That's the reason why you see, you must have people you speak with, but be careful. This is the reason why a lot of people have become recluses. They refuse to talk with anybody. Because age is not wisdom. The book of Job tells us, I'm just going to tell my mom everything that ever happens to me, and then you discover your life is going to be wrecked because you just tell a little like this to your mom or to your dad because they are not the appropriate people that can handle that issue. And your life scatters from that time. Your name is on the tabloid because they carry it everywhere. Because they are too emotional to handle that kind of a fact. My first family all died without my mom being informed because I didn't want her to die. 1.5 years later, one of my brothers told her, they said she sat down and cried for 1.5 hours non-stop. 1.5 hours non. Just imagine that when it was fresh, you know that they would have been burying somebody. I never told nobody in Nigeria what sickness they were going through before I left. Nobody ever had, except one prayer partner. My brothers did not hear. My mother did not hear. My father did not hear. Nobody heard. More so because of the stigma around HIV and whatever that time. Nobody ever had nothing. I was drying up. They were asking me why. I said it's fasting. I was listening to a man. It will be in his 50s or 60s and quite a successful man on Instagram. And he said he was talking about proxy war that leads to divorce. He said a lot of divorces, they are as a result of proxy war. He said, my mom had a sister, my aunt, that always came to our house when my dad is not around. He said, my dad worked his ass off. He would go early in the morning, he would return late in the evening, providing for the house and everything. He said, my aunt will always come and tell my mom, hey, Jelly, is this the way Jerry is dealing with you? Is this the way he's treating you? You're too beautiful for this. Do you know how they treat beautiful people like you? And this and that and that and that and that and that. He said, from the moment my dad comes through the door, my mom will start a fight. And my dad will be wondering, where is this coming from? He said, I was 7 years old, but I was hearing everything they were saying. And I knew it was my aunt that was causing it. He said, my dad and mom divorced twice. They married, they gave birth to my sister, they divorced. They remarried, they gave birth to me, they divorced. Based on my aunt's information to my mom. One of the greatest problems you could have, which Eve had, was discussing with an inappropriate person. Especially some of you that are very emotional. That is the next person you see that you start talking to like parrot. Not everybody knows the root of your pain. Not everybody can lead you to gain with your pain. There are some people you will tell the kind of sickness you have lost them. I once talked with a lady and was telling a guy how somebody did me something and did me something. They were trying to get engaged. He said, the guy said, after hearing this, I love you more, I love you more. Only to call the girl on the Christmas day. Sorry. Yeah, I don't think. A fool tests out all his mind, but a wise person keeps it till afterwards. Testing water. There are sometimes I'm angry with some people, and if I've spoken out what was in my mind, things were going to go bad, and I keep quiet. You could be living in my house, and I keep quiet for 3 weeks, not telling you the reason why I'm angry. Until I see an appropriate time, and how the things can be solved. The heart of the wise teaches his mouth. It's not everybody that will say, you need somebody. It's not everybody that can carry your body. The Bible talks about, give me Galatians chapter number 6. And I'll read one more scripture. Galatians chapter number 6. Brethren, if a man be overtaken in a fault, ye which are spiritual, not everybody. Spirituality doesn't have anything to do with prayerfulness. It has everything to do with maturity and experience. It's not prayers. Ye which are spiritual, restore you need restorer, not exposer. Oh, you said somebody look at you in that church. We're going to go there. I'm going to tell them, you don't look at the guy in the church. And the person will come and we create a sin. And they will take you away. Where they will not take you to, that's where your life ends. But this we are spiritual. Say, but how did you sit down that they look at you? Which kind of cloth did you wear? Then how did you know they were looking at you? Were you focused on Jesus or looking around? They will solve a lot of problems than causing more problems. They which are spiritual, who can restore, who have spirit of meekness, who always consider themselves, even when you come to them, they say, brother, it's not only your problem, everybody has it too. Only God is helping me. But somebody will say, wow, how can a Christian be like that? A Christian? But it's worse off. Under their pillow, Futka is there that is trying to use to handle their prayer life in the night, because as they are sleeping off, they need power. So they just put the little Futka. So that when they are speaking, you just meet them where they're speaking in tongues and with a lot of sweat. You won't know that Futka is part of the engine room. But see, lest thou also be tempted. It's not everybody that can hear your thought. Otherwise, you will fall. That's the reason why, as we grow up in a church like this, that's the reason why the family of God is so important. The Bible said the church is the ground and the pillar of truth. You will begin to find out people that are developing strength in certain areas of life. Instead of dying and say, family is everything. Family is not everything. Right people is everything. You could be from a very, very stupid, foolish family. Just imagine that your dad was Naba. Even the wife knew that he was foolish, as his name was. Just imagine that you came from the house of Jezebel. That the dog had to lick her blood. Just imagine that your dad was Herod or Pharaoh. Or they have that similitude or that capacity. Strength is rare. Spirituality is scarce. Only a few people carry genuine strength and spirituality. Only a few people. It's not littered everywhere. Some are just trying to pass by and then they pretend in the church. When everybody is praying, they make the loudest noise to sound spiritual. And they are empty. Very empty. It takes sensitivity to connect with strength and spirituality. But once you connect with strength and spirituality, you will discover your life is moving forward. You will discover you are moving forward. You just, every week, you just discover you are becoming strong.